Dijakovic got to feast his eyes on the future of NXT. Do you like what he saw? And Regal makes an announcement with limitless possibilities.
We have virtually no guests tonight, and this is NXT. Welcome, everybody, to What's NXT for July 22nd, 2020. That's a lot of twos. I'm your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stefan Osborne, joined as always by the General, Jerry Slaughter.
Good morning, wrestling fans.
And, yeah, I meant to say virtually no guest up here. We were supposed to have Virtue on. Nobody knew about that, but it didn't happen. We wish our best to Virtue and his family and everything going on, so... we did not get a guest this week, but that's okay. We're used to this. Mm-hmm. We start this show off with William Regal on Skype, and he is supposed to have a big announcement to make. And they kind of tease, like maybe it was something to do with his GM role or his GM career, because they were talking about on some tweet how long he's been in the GM of the show, mm-hmm. which is virtually like the whole, since it's been a wrestling promotion other than just a wrestling, what was it, like a
development territory?
Game? Yeah, it was like a
that's like the game show thing.
Yeah,
the whole Nexus thing.
It started out as a reality game show, and then it was kind of like Tough Enough 2.0, and then he took over, and then it was so anyway. No, this is the announcement that we all kind of figured was coming anyway. They just kind of tried to divert our attention. He turns the focus on to Keith Lee, because Keith Lee actually has the announcement to make, and he says that he is so grateful for all of the opportunities that he's had. He got the opportunity to get the North American Championship. He seized it. He got the opportunity to win the NXT Championship. He seized it. He won them both, and in the spirit of that, he wants to make a decision that is going to give more opportunities to others. He said, though he will defend the NXT title as much as he can, he is forthwith relinquishing the North American Championship. He says, with the caveat that as many people get a shot at this title as possible. He wants to spread the opportunity.
And that's pretty much what catches Regal's ear about the whole thing. So now we're going to be getting a series of triple threat matches building up to a ladder match at the next TakeOver 30, with a really sick-looking logo.
Yeah, logo's sick. I like this because, man, that title just does not need to be held up in the main event picture. And Keith Lee can go out without losing the belt, without losing a match, without losing any credibility or momentum that he has as the NXT champion.
I would have liked to at least seen one show where he had to defend both belts just to establish dominance.
Well, he did that against Dominik Dijakovic. He didn't have to.
Yeah,
but he did it.
But I'm saying like two separate matches.
Oh.
Like that same night, he's like, you know what? I'll beat you, and I'll beat you.
He's probably foreseeing that. He foreshadowed that night, and he's like, before that fucking happens, and I successfully defend the North American Championship mid-card, because that's the mid-card title, and then come main event, I'm too fucking tired to successfully defend the one that's more important, the one that took me longer to get.
Yep. I think it would have been cool for him to win both those matches, though, and then be like, you know what? I proved my point. Here you go. Do what you will.
I guess. At least he did defend them both once. So this is going to not set up a tournament as we predicted. This is going to set up sort of a... No, it's not even...
I did say 5-pack challenge at one point, though, when I was discussing it. So
the end game is a ladder match at NXT TakeOver 30
with 5 people.
Yeah, 5-man ladder match. Each spot in the ladder match is going to be determined by a triple threat match.
I think it's going to be 4 triple threat matches and then 1 fatal 4-way last chance one.
Is that going to be the guys that don't get pinned?
Yeah.
Because we could have an 8-man over-the-top rope elimination.
There you go.
But I don't want to see any of that. I want this to be one shot and done. You either win the triple threat match and move on, or you don't. Because in that way, we get 15 people with opportunities. One less than a 16-man tournament. That's fine. Yeah, 15 dudes get an opportunity to become the mid-card champion.
And they don't fuck around with the first match that we have for the evening.
No. In fact, okay, we'll talk about that when we get to that.
We'll get there eventually. But like,
the match itself is going to be Roderick Strong versus Johnny Gargano versus Bronson Reed.
Which on paper you would think, okay, you have 2 former North American champions and somebody that competed in a breakout tournament. What good can come of this match? My answer, a lot.
What you have is 2 guys that have conquered the mid-card. One guy of those 2 has conquered the main event card. And one guy seems to be the obscure one. He's the one that don't fit.
Because he's thick.
Yeah, because he's thick. And he doesn't fit in a lot of places.
No.
Oh.
See, that was a good pun. That was a good analogy. It kind of rolled right into it.
I've worked in crannies that he would not fit in. Anyway, Bronson Reed gets... we're not there yet. Anyway, he fine. Anyway, Dexter Lumis versus Killian Dane. That starts the show. We knew we were going to get this match thanks to
Robert Stone.
Maybe. Or maybe just...
He probably just went to Regal's like, Regal?
And Regal's like, yeah, I saw the bit. Now he can have his match. Now go away.
Yeah. Made it happen. Hug it out, bitch. So
what I like about Lumis is that he's not indestructible. He's not unbreakable. His body takes damage, and his body shows wear, but somehow in his face he just shows still no effect to the pain. He doesn't seem to care about anything in his face. He's just out there taking blows and then
he just
landing blows. Which, again, super creepy and, like, kudos to him, because I'm sure some of those moves actually hurt, and he still no-sold them. What did you think about the opening match?
I thought it was actually really impressive. Like, Killian Dane is always really cool to watch. He's one of the better big men that they actually have in the company. Like, his running slashes and everything, nobody does them quite like him, and he actually nails them spot on every time.
He nails them where they look both devastating and safe. As opposed to, let's say, Piper Niven, who when she nails them, they look devastating because they're cringeworthy, because you worry about the person that was underneath her.
Yep.
Anyway, Killian Dane, yeah, very good at this stuff.
And, like, there's already that, like, air to it that Dexter Lumis was going to win this match, but he just didn't know how. And I think it's the first time I've ever seen, like, Killian Dane actually take down his shirt or straps or anything in a battle, which that just means he's having a rougher time than he thought he was going to have with Lumis.
I guess, or he was trying to hulk himself up.
I think that was the case, too, because nothing he was doing was working against Lumis.
Well, how do you get this match off to a good start? You don't want to make either guy look weak, so you make Lumis look, let's say, crafty. He counters a whip to the ropes by dropping forward and doing that slither slide he does out of the ring, onto the floor, then gets up. Dane comes outside, tries to throw him into the steps. He counters that whip by just diving over the steps. He rolls through, turns around, and Dane has done run around and hits him with that divide, that running cross body.
On the outside.
On the outside. And for a minute there, it looks like Lumis is going to lose via 10 count. But eventually, Dane puts him in back in the ring. Let's see. He drapes him over the middle rope and drops a leg over his neck from the middle turnbuckle. They get back up and fight again. Lumis gets on top, hits a belly-to-back suplex, and then kips up into a jumping leg drop, which he lands back air. He just, from wherever he kipped up to, he looked over at him and he's like, I can land it. And he just jumps in the air and lands a leg drop across his neck. Only gets a near fall. Let's see. Dane hits him with a power bomb and a jumping elbow drop, gets a near fall. And then Lumis counters, hits a side effect, and then goes for the vice. Dane counters the vice, doesn't get the roll up. He goes up top. Loomis knocks him off and then hits a swanton bomb, then hits the side effect again, then hits that vice. And to his credit, Killian Dane doesn't tap out. He just passes out. But Loomis wins.
There was also a really great spine buster in there too out of Loomis. Like, wasn't exactly Arn Anderson like caliber, but he's getting there with it.
Yeah, especially with a guy the size of Killian Dane.
Mm-hmm.
Just again, a move we've seen before, so I didn't.
Yeah.
Because Loomis is expanding his skill set, and I just at this point now it's time to write down stuff I've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
After this match, we get an interview with Roderick Strong backstage.
Oh, before we go any further, we have the Cleaver and Nate Spain both in the chat room.
Woot woot. What up, Colin? If you're feeling up to it, you should call in, brother.
But back to the show.
Again, interview with Roderick Strong, this McKenzie chick or somebody, I don't know.
Yeah.
He says this opportunity means that the Undisputed Era finally has a chance to get back on track. And this is where Bronson Reed comes in and cuts him off and says, look, you've had plenty of opportunities. You guys have had so many opportunities. He said what he's going to do is take this opportunity to show that he belongs.
Yep.
And then that he's a player here. Sorry, Johnny Gargano comes in, interrupts him, says this whole thing ends with him becoming champ again and making history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then Bronson has to throw in his last 2 cents. It's like pretty much almost like an 8 Mile type. This is my one shot. I gotta do this.
Yeah, he gets the last word in, and that is noteworthy. We get a selfie promo from Dakota Kai from her phone.
Always great.
She said it felt good to knock Io Shirai off of her pedestal. And when she returns, let's see. Oh,
when
she
the
says,
when the taste
returns to your mouth, I'll be waiting. And by the way, bring that NXT Women's Championship.
Mm-hmm.
So
I doubt they'll wait for Takeover to do this match. I think it's going to happen prior to that, and then we're going to get Candice LeRae probably for Takeover.
Maybe. We do get Everrise. That's Chase Parker and Matt Martell. I had to Google that. Versus Breezango as the Mounties. So they come out and they're making fun of Everrise because I guess they're Canadian. And
Colin said he'd would join us, but he's packing up for vacation. So
whoop, whoop. Woo! Enjoy. Good luck. Safe journeys, my friends. Safe journeys. I don't have a whole lot on this match because this match wasn't really a whole lot.
It was an enhancement talent match. It was just to show that Breezango is still there and they're still going to win matches.
I have a fun spot where Martel is on the apron and he's calling to the crowd to chant defense with him. I think he was saying defense. Clap, clap, defense, clap, clap. Anyway.
And then he had a little bit of offense put on him.
Tyler Breeze super kicks him off into the plexiglass. That was fun. Fandango ends up getting the hot tag. He takes them both out in the ring. Then they end up outside, hurtled together like a turtle. And Breezango comes off the middle turnbuckle with the Mountie dive or something like that, where he puts on the Mountie hat, he salutes, and then just headbutt drops him.
He's looking more and more like Dane Cook by the day.
They get back in the ring, and both Tyler Breeze and Fandango hits stereo super kicks to both dudes, and then Breezango pins one of them. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Nate Spain says Dakota Kai for champ. God, we wish. I think if she's gonna have Raquel Gonzalez as her like valet / bodyguard, she needs to have the title. But Io Shirai is not gonna be dropping in anytime
I was gonna
soon.
say over Io Shirai. That's where I beg to.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen right now, but it needs to happen before Raquel Gonzalez or her get called up.
This is true. Maybe, I don't know, or at least or at least tag champs.
I was about to say, let them be the tag champs too, or that'd be an awesome upset.
Enter Dominik Dijakovic. He's getting interviewed by Mackenzie or whatever her name is. Tonight, Karrion Kross gets a fresh Dominik Dijakovic, as opposed to dropping him on his head in the backstage area.
He started it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Dominik Dijakovic started the fight, but this time it's going to be in the ring. It's going to be sanctioned. There's a WWE word for you.
And Scarlett will be there too.
He says, It's good though, because for a minute he was wondering what was next for Dominik Dijakovic, and now he knows what it is, and that's knocking out Karrion Kross.
Extremely creative has nothing for him.
Yeah, I guess. Back to NXT with you. Be gone.
I still think he'd be awesome for the hacker, since he's always doing a whole feast your eyes thing. It only makes sense, like feast your eyes on all these cameras.
He's this fucking, not Russian. What is he? Lithuanian something?
Yeah.
Hacker.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, speaking of Io Shirai,
Bong.
she tweets and basically accepts the challenge. I don't know if this is going to be for next week or what.
I doubt it.
But she says she'll see her Wednesday, so I'm assuming
They'll probably at least have a run-in or something where they'll actually meet up in the ring. And
yeah, but with her translation, does that mean this Wednesday or a Wednesday? Who knows? She says actions have consequences, though, so she's planning on getting some revenge. Speaking of revenge, Aaliyah comes out with Robert Stone, who's still wearing the boot from where Shotzi Blackheart ran over his ankle, and who's she facing but Shotzi Blackheart?
Mm-hmm.
Who comes out again with her tank. Again, I'm not a fan of the tank.
The tank's a little much.
It is a little much.
It's a cool prop like that first time, especially when we saw her in that really, really big fucking tank. If she shows up in a really, really big fucking tank, that's cool. But like this little tank,
they're making too much of it.
Yeah.
I feel like two dudes could easily lift that thing, and they make it seem like it's dead. Anyway, they have to, I guess. So Shotzi wins the match, of course. Attempted shenanigans at the end, but she kicks Robert Stone off the apron and he lands on his bad foot.
Aaliyah's only getting better each week, though.
This is true.
She's only improving. She's Canadian, so it's just natural.
My complaint, we didn't get to see her do that sweet run into the corner and then leap up like the Miz, but catch her with a clothesline. Somehow a clothesline with her ankle.
Yeah.
The corner ankle, I don't know what to call it. I wish she would name it. Other than that, it was a decent match. I guess if she'd have hit that, maybe it would have looked like she was going to win too much.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Let's see.
They had to give Shotzi the win this week because of her loss against Indy Hartwell last week.
Well, despite how this match ends, my favorite part of it was at the beginning where Shotzi Blackheart comes out in the tank, runs it into the steps, which knocks Robert Stone, who's not paying any fucking attention, off of the steps onto the floor, and he's pissed.
But the main thing we have to look at for this match is the aftermatch.
Well, I do have some match notes, like Shotzi hitting the Jeff Hardy double leg drop to the crotch /
Welcome to the ball pit. Which would be great if she actually did that Robert Stone, because then, then she'd be actually dropping it onto his balls.
And then setting her up on the middle rope and doing that inverted senton. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Coming back, though, she goes to hit Shotzi, or she goes to hit Aaliyah, and Aaliyah dodges, and Shotzi slips through the ropes down on the floor and gets distracted by Robert Stone, and that's when Aaliyah comes off the apron with an X Factor onto the floor. Mm-hmm. That was cool. Back in the ring, Aaliyah hits a snap suplex, rolls through into a Northern Lights.
With a great bridge.
It is a little dirty.
Yeah.
I got to admit, but executed.
Mm-hmm.
Executed without fault. Just dirty. So, credit to her. She tries to get the pinfall using the ropes. The ref catches her, and she gets back up. Shotzi kicks Robert Stone off the apron and then does a diving senton off the top rope. And that's the pinfall. That's the end. After match, though, as you mentioned, Shotzi gets back in her tank, and since Robert Stone's laid out on the floor, grasping at his bad leg, she decides to run over the good leg with the tank.
We should have gotten the Ace Ventura gift where he had the two spears in his legs.
We got a bunch of gifts. I don't know when we'll use them, but I know when we'll use one. Anyway, while she's posing in her tank, Mercedes Martinez comes out. She runs down the ramp and just lays out Shotzi Blackheart, and then leaves. Yep. And kind of looks at Robert Stone. And
really no explanation until later.
She does not, however, help Aaliyah lift that tank off of.
How awesome would that be? She just grabbed it by one hand and lifted it up.
Lifted the whole thing. Well, anyway, I guess, a little bit of foreshadowing, but not too much. So, anyway, this was fine.
But it looks like she'll be dishing out the punishment, Martinez.
We get a video pack promo for Isaiah Swerve Scott.
That used to be Damien Priest's name.
Apparently, he makes music, and he likes to relate music to wrestling and timing. He says, if you don't have the harmony and the beat right, something's off, and it's like the timing in the ring, and can't be off in the ring. And
I like Swerve the way he is right now. I hope they don't turn him into fucking R-Truth.
please don't do that. I'd prefer the Skeet.
Yeah, we prefer the Jizz.
We prefer Skeet Scott instead of, or Swerve Skeet.
It's a R Swerve.
Yeah, R Swerve is a bad idea. He does, however, call out Santos Escobar, and he makes 2 points. One, he's the only guy that has beaten Santos Escobar since he debuted as El
Hijo del Fantasma.
Junior. And second, I think Fantasma or Escobar is always talking about being overlooked, and he's like, "Don't overlook me," something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Swerve Scott.
So he's pretty much just challenging for a cruiserweight belt at this point. He doesn't really have a lot of wins under it, but like anytime he's actually in a ring, people take notice. Like his match with Gargano, on the Great American Bash, that was some good shit.
Well, he says the next time that he beats Escobar, he will become the cruiserweight champion. So there you go. Up next is our mid-card main event. That's the triple threat match that is going to determine the first participant in the ladder match at TakeOver 30. And this is Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Roderick Strong. What a match!
It was an excellent match.
What a match!
They knew how to do a triple threat match, and I know the reason why they knew how to do a triple threat match, and that is Johnny Gargano. Gargano could put the match together with pretty much anybody and make it awesome.
Well, it was a brilliant setup because you have 2 versus 1, the one being Bronson Reed, who's the baby face, and he is big, versus the 2 heels that are going to do heelish shit and tag up against him to try and take him out of the match.
Right out of the box. Like, they're doing their comedy on the outside of the ring, and it's just fucking great.
Yeah, he ends up knocking them both out of the ring, and outside, they're deciding that there's the 2 of them, and they need to just take him out because he's big, and they're going to run in there and do it on 3. 1, 2, 3. They both run at the ring, and then stop at the apron and look at each other.
I knew you were going to do that.
Just keep saying, I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that.
And then he steps on Johnny Gargano's hand, and then
lifts Roderick Strong into the ring. Yeah, he stomps on Johnny Gargano's hand as they're arguing. This is great. Somewhere in the midst of them arguing and trying to double team him, he ends up swatting Johnny Gargano out of midair into Roderick Strong, which knocks them both outside. This takes us into our first commercial break. I think there was 2 for this match.
Yeah.
Let's see. Reed tries to do a tope suicida to Gargano, but Strong, who was on the apron and Reed should have seen, runs over and knees him in the face before he can get through the ropes. And I'm thinking, yeah, Bronson Reed probably shouldn't be doing a suicida. Fuck, was I wrong?
Yeah.
Just saying. I was so wrong on that one. Let's see. There's a spot in here where Roderick Strong tries to do a sunset flip on Reed, and he's down on the mat trying to bring him down. Normally in this spot, the big guy would just sit down on the dude's chest, but instead, Johnny Gargano comes in, grabs up Roderick Strong, and catapults him right into Bronson Reed's nutsack.
That's how you do a triple threat match.
Yeah, this was great.
Right in the dick.
So they battle, and most of this match is the 2-on-1. At one point, though, Reed counters, I think it was Gargano, sets him up for a reverse DDT, and then grabs a punch that, dodges a punch that Strong's throwing, gets him in a Uranagi, lifts them both up, and drops Strong over Gargano as he drops him for the reverse DDT.
Colin says, yo, Skype me.
Cool, we can do that. Let's see. Yeah, so this show was 6 matches. That's like 3 matches an hour. Okay, that was the... I totally wasted it. That'll come in handy another time, hopefully.
Yeah, probably.
Let's see.
That's you.
Clear. Can't see. There we go.
Consummate professionals.
Yes, thanks, folks, for bearing with us.
All three
of you. What up, Cleaver?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this is Colin the Cleaver, Andrew.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Longtime correspondent. So we're talking about the triple threat match. Let's see. I'm about halfway through my notes. Hold on. Let's see. We see an enziguri into an Olympic slam to Bronson Reed. But Johnny Gargano throws Strong out and tries to get a pinfall. He does not.
Throws. He yeets him out.
Yeah, when
he
Strong
lands hard.
He smacks the side of his head on the apron, which is the hardest part of the ring.
Don't you know?
Don't you know? And after that, they're both outside arguing again. Reed hits that suicida.
Plancha.
And actually fucking nails it. They're trading forearms and then look up and here comes fucking Thick Boy.
From down under.
Back in the ring, Reed stacks both dudes on his shoulders and hits a Samoan drop onto both. That was fun. Let's see. Gargano counters an electric chair that Reed's got up there. It looks like Roderick Strong is going to go for some sort of doomsday something off the ropes. But Gargano flips Reed. Fucking Reed
Poison Rana.
into a Poison Rana that Roderick Strong completely misses whatever he was going for. I think he was going for an elbow. And let's see, coming off of that, where was I at? We get outside, and Reed is up on the apron trying to hold off Roderick Strong, who's trying to do a power bomb. But Johnny Gargano enziguris him in the face, and he actually gets power bombed off the apron to the floor. And this takes him out for almost the rest of the match. Back in the ring, Gargano lawn darts Strong into the middle turnbuckle. Turns around and Strong hits what they call a power breaker. It's kind of like his the heartbreak or whatever.
End of heartbreak.
End of heartbreak, but reversed into the gut instead of into the back. And then out of that, they get up, and Gargano actually hits one final beat off of the apron, but while he scooches over and drapes one arm for the pin, on the 2 count, Bronson Reed comes off the top rope with his diving splash.
Around Gargano's arm.
Yeah, his the wake of his splash knocks Johnny Gargano out of the ring, basically. And he gets the 1, 2, 3. Bronson Reed picks up the victory and moves on to the ladder match. How crazy is that? Shit's not going away.
Yeah.
What was your take on the match there, Cleaver?
Well, Bronson Reed winning definitely left me with a what the fuck moment.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him because I guess they're going to try to build up someone new, but at the same time, I was really, really pushing for Gargano. John Schartzer and I were going back and forth on Twitter through the show, and he was saying, yeah, Gargano's going to go all the way to the end and put somebody else over because that's what he does. And that's what I honestly thought was going to happen. But I was also, part of me was rooting for Roderick Strong because I like Roderick Strong. I like Roderick Strong before he joined Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wish he would start breaking away from the Undisputed Era.
And he also made the point that he never got his rematch with Keith Lee for the North American title, so it only makes sense.
Very, very true. But we live in a world where rematches are not guaranteed.
They
no
are
rematch clause.
Have a cookie, sit down, shut the fuck up, and wait your turn, I guess. But
what kind of cookie is it?
I liked it. I was a fan of it. Again, I really, really wish that Gargano would have went over. This was a perfect match, though, to have for coming into the 9 o'clock hour.
Absolutely.
They did it right this week, for sure, with the match lineups.
Oh, I'm about to say they paced the show perfectly except for one match.
We haven't gotten there yet, but we are so close. That's the other gif of the night.
Oh.
I called Bronson Reed winning as soon as the earlier promo was over and he got the last word in. I looked over at Jerry. I'm like, could you see Bronson Reed coming out on top? He's like, yeah, I guess. I'm like, yeah, I think so. I think that was them just showing us right there.
That was his Ralph Macchio moment.
Neither Johnny Gargano nor Roderick Strong need the win. They don't need the title again. They shouldn't be in the title picture if they're not going to really be in the title picture.
But if anybody was going to make Bronson Reed look like a credible threat, it was those two.
Yeah. And it gives each of them somebody of a similar caliber to work off of in the spots where, one wants the pin over the other. So it worked really well, and I liked the finish. Made a whole lot of sense. And I knew as soon as Bronson Reed got the powerbomb on the outside that was just his spot to be gone and forgotten about until he finally comes in at the very end. And that splash off the top rope was way more than I was expecting. So I dug this match. Moving on to the least favorite match of the night. Holy fuck. So first we get a video cap of Tim Thatcher 3 weeks ago making Oney Lorcan tap out, winning the match, not leaving, going back in, and making him tap and cry some more. This leads into a rematch between Timothy Thatcher and Oney Lorcan. And if I thought the original fucking match was boring, holy fuck. Oh my god. Jerry, after working 10-hour shifts, has a reason to fall asleep. I don't. And I was. Holy fuck.
I didn't this time because I didn't want you to take any pictures of prosperity.
Colin, what'd you think about this Thatch Can style wrestle? Oh god, I can't even.
I would have much rather just watched my two cats wrestle around the living room, to be honest with you.
But that's adorable!
This was... Alright, so, man, I was super high up on when I heard that Thatcher was going to be part of NXT. And the only, cool moment he's had so far is when he turned on Riddle.
Mm-hmm.
And then that pit fight match. I've been very let down with Tim Thatcher in NXT so far. And fucking Oney Lorcan just needs to go away and stay in a tag team. I don't know why they're putting Oney, whatever you want to, the piss out of the shit. I don't know what you want to call him.
You know what he is right now? He's just a placeholder for Dunn.
But dude, I don't know why they're putting him in this deal with Thatcher. Thatcher needs an actual decent name to make an impact. I mean, yes, he did with Matt Riddle, but he needs to keep that momentum going if he's going to be doing anything in NXT. Thought his match was shit. Jerry DeV's in here, says twerk. But yeah, this match should not have been on the show again. So I'm just gonna leave it there.
I have some notes, believe it or not. Anything, Jerry? Any notes?
The thing is with this match is it didn't really need to happen. We didn't see really anything except for Thatcher getting a handful of tights this time to actually do the victory versus having a submission. That puts him more of a heel status like he's supposed to be. But this only means we're gonna get a third match now, and I don't want that. That's like giving me another British rounds match. I don't want it.
Let's not talk about those.
Oh my god.
We only got one, and that was enough.
My first note, no joke, only a crowd full of wrestling students could find this entertaining. Because the crowd was pretty hyped for this match. I don't understand that, other than maybe they're just literally getting paid to be hyped. My second note, this match actually goes on through a commercial break. No notes beforehand, only two after. I do have a note about Lorcan trying to win the match with a single leg crab that almost gets reversed and he drops it into a Fujiwara armbar, which is fun because that's what Tim Thatcher was using to make people cry. But he doesn't get the tap out. Instead, Thatcher fish hooks him in the jaw and cheats to get out of it. And then, let's see. The rest of this match is basically Lorcan attempting to put on a Kimura lock and Thatcher resisting because this is his left shoulder that got run into the post somewhere during the match. Couldn't tell you when. And he successfully gets the Kimura lock on, but for some reason Thatcher is able to put him on the mat and roll him into a pinfall. And with his one good arm, he grabs a little bit of tights and gets a 1, 2, 3, and there you go. And that was the end of the match.
What they need to do with Thatcher is go ahead and just stop postponing the inevitable and have him with Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel and have them be an American version of Imperium until NXT UK takes back off.
You know, the best way for me to put how bad this match was, now that I think about it, literally half of the match was Oney Lorcan attempting to put on a Kimura lock.
Yeah.
Unsuccessfully.
Pretty much, yeah.
I have one move I'm going for.
Let's move from this to something notable on the show. We get an interview backstage, or an attempted one with Robert Stone. He shoos away McKenzie, but that gave the camera a reason to be there as Mercedes Martinez approaches. And this is something we wanted to see. We didn't know we wanted to see, but thank God Robert Stone has managed to garner somebody other than just Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
And where the fuck is Chelsea Green? So anyway,
COVID.
Mercedes Martinez approaches. She tells him to just shut up. She says what she needs is somebody to handle all of the stuff that goes on outside of the ring. Handle the matches and
the bookings, whatever. Yeah,
whatever. So she can focus on doing damage inside the ring. And she tells him, she says, just don't overstep your bounds, and I won't have to break both of your legs.
What I really liked about this, though, is the fact that she's pretty much saying everything I've ever thought about, like maybe your Bobby Lashley or your Brock Lesnar's. They just need to say that kind of shit. Like, especially with Paul Heyman. It's like, okay, I need you to talk. I need you to do this business stuff for me. I'm going to go in a ring and I'm going to destroy shit. That's it.
Yeah, my business is hurt.
Yeah, hurt business.
So, what do you think about Mercedes Martinez finally becoming a member of the Robert Stone brand?
I like how she kind of punked out Robert Stone.
Yeah.
I really thought that was fucking hilarious. She was like the Devo from Friday in the situation. But I was not expecting her at all. I was curious as to what they were going to be doing with her since she's made her re-debut.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what we saw her show up in that Battle Royal for, like, what was it, for a #1 contendership or something like that a while back in NXT. But besides that, really nothing. It's a bigger name for Robert Stone. I was curious as what he was going to be doing as well, because obviously this gimmick's going to keep going.
But this also,
real quick, the D in the chat says Jerry on a stripper pole is more entertaining than AEW. And Jerry, should I leave a like or dislike?
Oh, dislike.
But
No. Don't listen to him. Leave a like.
I like this. I like this little backstage promo. I'm curious as to see where it goes. But yeah, I liked the sit down, shut up, you take care of the contracts and the backstage bullshit. I just worry about hurting people, basically. So
you know where this is going? Martinez versus Ripley.
Probably. I was wondering what they were going to do with Robert Stone just being dropped by Chelsea Green all of a sudden, or so suddenly. I'm really hoping this was the goal from the beginning, for him to sort of acquire Aaliyah on the way as the backup, the henchman.
She's the cheerleader is what she is. She roots him on.
She's there to actually physically get involved in a match where she's helping Mercedes Martinez. That is, she's helping her win.
Punishment.
And because Robert Stone can't do that. I mean, he could, but he's a guy. They're not going to let him do that on the ring.
Former X Division champion.
The Natural Nate Spain says, I gotta leave, guys. I'll see y'all next week. Later, Nate.
Later, Nader.
Maybe we can get you on the show next week. Message us. He's in the chat room now. You can do that.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be on a future show, let us know. We'll put you up where the cleaver is. Put you in the chat room. Let you pick a name, nickname.
Whatever.
Or we'll nickname you, whichever.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay,
Sometimes it just come natural.
Yeah. So let's move on. Video promo for Finn Balor. He says Keith Lee keeps talking about all these opportunities, and personally, he doesn't want a handout. But he will take advantage of the mistake Keith Lee made, or the fact that he is too chicken, he says, basically, to defend the North American Championship, and he'll just go on and take it.
Balor can't decide if he's a face or a heel. I love it.
And too bad for two guys, those guys being Dexter Lumis and Timothy Thatcher. It's funny, because I had just previously been thinking during the Timothy Thatcher match that Thatcher is stealing Dexter Lumis's gimmick of no selling the pain. Just saying. One or the other. Anyway, next week we are going to get Finn Balor, Dexter Lumis, Tim Thatcher, in a triple threat match for the second spot in the ladder match.
That's a hell of a hodgepodge.
NXT TakeOver 30. XXX. And let's see. He says their push hits the ceiling, and the North American Championship will get the Finn rub that it needs. Giggity. Finn Balor, by the way, that guy that we
met in Toronto.
Looking for the picture. There it is.
Yeah, that's him.
There's that.
Handsome man.
Yeah, Finn Balor's not bad either.
And then Stefan's in there too.
I love that it's been almost a year and you guys still do that.
He's on NXT now. It makes it even better.
Yeah, like that. We had to take the opportunity. So, triple threat match next week. Finn Balor, Tim Thatcher, and Dexter Lumis. Who you got?
Who are you talking to? Because I'm looking at your TV stance. I can't see who you're...
I completely forgot.
Yeah, you keep on forgetting about that camera down there.
Yeah, this is the camera for the... Well, we didn't know anybody was going to be calling it.
Yeah, I know.
So,
and Colin was calling.
Can you see us now?
Yes, I can.
All right.
So you were talking to me. Okay.
Hi.
I really wanted Dexter Lumis to be in this title picture, okay? I stated that earlier in the chat, and after his match, I was like, man, he fucking choked out Killian Dane.
Yeah.
Like, all right, let's do this. And now that we got fucking the Prince in there, it's kind of hard to say no to that, because we know Thatcher's not getting it. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be
That's not his kind of match, no.
No. So, I'm going to have to go with Balor, even though I'm really rooting for Lumis.
Jerry?
I think Lumis, because I don't think Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor are done. They were arguing that like about a week or so ago about like who actually deserved the North American title shot more, and maybe we're just gonna get a repeat with them like at the next takeover. So I could actually see Lumis like scaling up the ladder and getting the W.
I don't know about a ladder. I don't know about that final match, but
yeah.
I have to agree. Based off of the turnout of the first match, I gotta say they're pushing new stars. They're not gonna make it Finn Balor, but Finn Balor doesn't have to lose because you have Tim Thatcher there.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow Dexter Lumis
just sneaks up on him and throws the silence on.
Yeah, and again doesn't have to tap, just passes out,
mm-hmm.
and that makes him look like a badass too. So that brings us to the main event: Karrion Kross versus Dominik Dijakovic. I forget to mention, and how could I? Scarlett Bordeaux.
His sinister sidekick.
Jesus Christ, this chick just, you think she couldn't find a hotter outfit, and then next week she does, and then the next week she does, and fuck, just watch it. Just watch it. Anyway, what'd you think about this main event, Colin?
Hard hitting, for sure. I will say Dominik Dijakovic got more over on Kross than Tommaso Ciampa did.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that this has been Kross's toughest competitor so far, but the end of the match made Dijakovic just look like a straight little bitch. I know the intentions there.
Yep.
But goddamn, for a man who is 6'7", 6'8", 300 some pounds, God, he just got made into such a little bitch right there, and I felt so bad for him. But I thought it was a great main event. We knew it was going to be hard hitting coming into it because we've seen how both these guys do their shtick in the first place. Do I want to see this match again? Totally. Totally would love to see it again at a later date, but maybe this, the end of the match, maybe Dijo gets written off for a little bit, or, maybe this was his little send-off if he is going to Raw or something, just because look what happened to Matt Riddle and Tim Thatcher. Tim Thatcher just kind of beat Riddle down to the point where he could no longer compete and passed out, and then, boom, 2 weeks later he's on SmackDown. Maybe this could be a similar comparison, but I really enjoyed it. But Karrion Kross is a goddamn monster.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn monster. And poor Keith Lee got to watch his buddy get beat the fuck up. I mean, at that point, wouldn't you just get involved, though? You know what I mean? At that point?
No, they had to have what I refer to as the Rocky ending, or like at least Rocky 4. With Apollo Creed pretty much getting killed by Drago, and Rocky.
I would have taken a play out of AEW's book and just thrown the towel in, like Taz did for Brian Cage.
Yeah.
If I was Keith Lee, I would have just thrown the towel in for my buddy at that point.
But he didn't have a towel. All he had was his pink shoes. Who throws a shoe?
So let's see. We see. Okay. Karrion Kross, at the very least, gets in some different offense than we've known, but it's all basic. I'm looking for signature moves and shit out of a guy that we've really only seen 2 moves out of, and one of them, actually both of them, are kind of generic, other than the fact that they're his. He named them. He hits a belly to back body drop, but it's a high angle, I guess, or whatever, and he follows. I don't know, what do they call it? The Saito drop?
The Doomsday.
Yeah. Doomsday Saito.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a belly to back driver, man. And then the cross jacket. They called it the cross jacket tonight. He only put on a sleeper. He didn't do the grapevine. No arm hook, no grapevine, no nothing. It's basically a version of the Oscar lock, and I really don't like it as his finisher. I so far, even this match, I don't like any of his moveset. None.
He's got the presentation and everything. He just needs a better moveset, is what we're trying to get across here.
The coolest thing he does in this match is at the end to basically incapacitate Dominik Dijakovic. He gets his head trapped between the ring post and the steps, and then steps on his neck for whatever the ref counts, and then runs over and drop kicks the steps into his head. Which, he drop kicks the top steps. His head's trapped between the bottom steps. I get it. But still, after that, he puts him in the ring. He does a full mount and just starts laying in forearms that Dijakovic is barely managing to get any defense in on. And the ref's calling to him saying, "You got to block it. You got to put in some defense, or I got to call this." He's like, "No, don't call it." To the point to where Keith Lee comes out, concerned, and he tells the ref and tells Lee, "No." He says, I've got a quote here. "No, it's on me. It's my call."
I think it would have been better if Kross, after he's watch this, he actually did something a move powerful enough that he knocks him out versus chokes him out.
Well, he basically knocks him out with one final forearm after he says it's on me, and then picks him up, faces him towards Keith Lee, tells Keith Lee to watch this, and he puts him in the sleeper. Rear naked choke. Some version of the basic
Not
move,
the straight jacket.
But eventually Dominik Dijakovic just passes out. And for the second time tonight, somebody's passed out to a finisher. Yay. Keith Lee gets in the ring. Kross doesn't even dodge out. He just kind of steps back and gets out and leaves. And that's just where this
all the referees come out there and they're calling for more people out there. It's a mess. It's a clusterfuck.
So, the match itself was 15 minutes long. Like I said, thank God we got to see something different out of Karrion Kross. And they had one commercial, which they had the picture-in-picture, But basically, for the whole thing,
Sleeper.
Kross was on the mat with Dijakovic in a side arm or a side headlock.
Yeah.
For like the whole commercial break.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think I don't have to rate it first. That brings us to the end of the main event. And here on What's NXT, we normally like to rate the main event using the General's 5-star rating system. And Colin, you get to go first out of 5 stars.
I had nose goes.
We weren't playing those guys.
You're the guest.
I'm just gonna give it. I wasn't super impressed with it. I was, but I wasn't. It was good, but I want to see more than just a headlock fest. The finish should have been a straitjacket. Keith Lee should have done something besides just standing the outside of the ring and this head of mine. But 3 1/4.
Jerry?
3 1/4.
I think what they're trying to establish here is that Karrion Kross is as big of a threat as Keith Lee was, or Keith Lee is. And this was no Lee versus Dijakovic match. Not by a long shot. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3 for just the aftermatch type thing. And the match itself was okayish. It was a main event. It was like there's a nice little build to it, and it's building towards the bigger main event of Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross. And then I'm gonna give it an extra quarter off the back of what I thought was a pretty solid show, short of the Thatcher and Lorcan one. So 3 1/4 also with me.
So before I rate it, Alistair Keffer's in the chat room. He says, hi, Stefan and Jerry and Colin.
What's
Hey,
going on?
Alistair. Devi says, I give Jerry twerk skills 5 stars.
Well, I didn't even have to move my ass.
He says, I'll be on the show till Jerry twerks for the millions.
But there are no millions.
Yeah, there's a fraction of that.
There's not even a fraction of that.
There is some fraction of that.
Like
It breaks down at some point.
like a grain of rice in a fucking bowl is what we are.
It's like 3 over 100,000, 1 every 333.
Rate the damn match.
Okay, so the match was good. I start good at 3. I won't go any higher than that. In fact, because of the ending, I will go lower than that. But, not off the back of a great show, mind you, but that fucking solid triple threat match in the middle of the show, man, that deserves some fucking credit. I will give the quarter star back. I will level it off at 3, but no higher for this.
Okay, quick question before we go into the plugs. We already know we got this triple threat match, and then we got this other triple threat match this next week. Who do we want to see in the third triple threat match?
Oh shit.
Do we see Velveteen Dream popping back up into the picture?
Possibly not for a while.
Yeah, I'm not thinking Velveteen.
See, Killian Dane, easily.
Dude, I would love somehow to see Pete Dunne show back up.
Oh, if Pete Dunne shows back up, it's all over. That's what
I would.
That's who I would love to see. I would love to see him show up at the end of this match with and just go after Thatcher. Because it's a triple threat match, so no disqualifications.
See, Danny Burch will be in one of them. Possibly Oni Lurkin, depending on how that goes. I don't know if they're going to get any of the cruiserweights in on it, though.
That would be really cool to have at least one of them in there. Do you think?
I mean,
Drake Maverick.
If it didn't look like we were going to get Swerve Scott versus Escobar, I'd say throw Swerve in there. But
Swerve could still be in there. We could get Swerve versus Escobar next week, and Swerve loses, and then he gets put into that match.
Easily Kona Reeves.
pulls him right out of the crowd.
I'm always going to be a fan of Kona Reeves, even if he never gets good. I don't know why. I just like the guy. Forgive me. So, that brings us to the end of this episode of What's NXT. Thank you for joining us. Please join us next week. We will just keep on rolling. I don't think we have anything between now and then.
No.
We'll have predictions. Let's see. It's August 22nd, so we got a couple weeks, I would say. In the meantime, you can find us on social media if you want to join the show. Find us on Twitter at Aftermatch Rest, where we take the ling out of wrestling.
Whatever the fuck that means.
And you can find us on Instagram at Aftermatch_wrestling. Both of which are run by this gentleman up here.
That guy.
And he'll hook you up. You can also find him on YouTube and all the other. Where can they find you, Colin?
Okay, first off, good pun with the cleaver like meat hook thing. Hook is what it worked. You just kind of rolled past it. I was going to acknowledge the meat hook, so good. Okay. All right, Colin.
Okay, you can find me at the Cleaver Colin Andrew on YouTube. You can find me on nodq.com/Colin. Takes you to my Twitter page. And that's really all about where you can find me. I stopped plugging my Instagram because I'm getting a bunch of fucking weirdos on there. So
weirdos on Instagram?
Don't add me on Facebook. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't add us. We won't add you. In fact, if you're in any of our groups and you try to add us on Facebook, we consider that a violation of the terms, and you will get nixed.
It's different if we find you interesting and want to add you.
Yeah.
Well, that's like me. I added Nate earlier, so.
Yeah, don't add us. Wait for us to come to you because we will boot you to the fucking moon and back.
Yeah, but if you find us and want to join the show and be on the big screen, we'll add you to everything. Like it's real easy. Just come review a show with us. Yeah. How super is that? You can be a fan and a meta fan. Anyway, so find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan STEFAN or at Stefan R Osborne OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for ridiculous. You can also find the gentleman on Twitter
at General_JSJ. My Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR exclamation point. So yeah, also the Aftermatch Wrestling group is also on Facebook. You can join us there. Just random memes. Every now and then we'll like plug other shows and whatnot. So
yeah, you can go to Greg Cherry's Teespring and get his armbar shirt.
General armbar shirt, yes.
The armbar shirt. You can go to.
And he's got a cleaver shirt, which is really a lot. I'm going to say a lot cooler looking than mine. So.
You can go to nodq.com/merch, and you should still be able to find my orange shirt, which is better than all the rest of them because it's orange, of course.
Fuck orange.
So find all that there. You can find me on Instagram at osborne.stefan and him at
the_gentleman_.
And the channel is also on Patreon if you'd like to help us out at Osborne or Stefan R. Osborne. But if you just have a few moments, bear with us. The best thing you can do, click the like button over here. If you like the show, click the like button. Devi, if you like the show, click the like button. If you didn't like the show, then yeah, of course, click the dislike. But see, Alistair Keffer gives the main event 3 stars, so he agrees with me. No more than 3. Also, if you like all of our shows, click the subscribe button over there under the general. And next to it is a little bell icon. If you click that one, it will tell your phone to tell you when we go live. If you want to catch us live and get in on the chat room, you can do that with the bell icon. And if you want to help our channel grow, click that share button and share it on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and everywhere that it will let you. If you would, please and thank you. In the meantime, for the Cleaver, Colin Andrew, for the General Jerry Slaughter, I'm the Wizard Stefan Osborne. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you in NXT time.